So, Elaine, tell me about peace. What's peace for you?
Peace for me is very much intertwined with what I do every day at work, which is working around technology and looking at how technology can play a role in bringing about more peaceful outcomes by, connecting more and more people around the world.
Is it too much focus on war today? You don't talk that much about peace. You only hear about war. What's your reflections?
I think if you wake up every day and you read the headlines, you can become very dismayed because you're reading about ISIS, you're reading about refugees, you're reading about so many different disasters. But I think that, on the other hand, there's an enormous opportunity in the world that we live in today to share much more information. Maybe it's part of this networked society that we're living in that we have so many more opportunities to communicate. And I think the trick is to drive that in the right way so that it can really be a force for positive change.
So can you give me some examples how you can use technology which is not used today, or which potential does it have?
I think if you look at the way technology is developing and the pace of change over the last 30 to 40 years, the revolution we've gone through with technology is perhaps even bigger than the whole industrial age. And by 2020, 90% of the world's population will have access to 3G. So this is kind of an unprecedented development, and it's happening so quickly. So I think the trick is to find the ways to leverage that enormous scale that mobile communication brings and use that to help make some of the voices heard, maybe that you don't hear every day, whether it's a victim of conflict or the voices of poverty or so on. We have so many more ways to spread information and knowledge.
Interpeace, tell me about your thoughts. Why is it an important organization?
I think the world needs more organizations like Interpeace. I think if you look around the world, there's a lot of NGOs, a lot of international organizations that are working on so many different issues, whether it's water or climate change or so on. But I was at the World Economic Forum recently, and one of the statistics that has stayed in my mind is that 66% of the world's poor are in conflict zones. So I think the problems are growing, and if we don't have more organizations like Interpeace that can help stitch all that together, I think it won't matter about the water or the climate or any one issue if we can't get the totality of it in a better place.
Tonight you've come to Sweden to speak about peace. Sweden has been for a long time a peaceful country. What do you think Sweden can contribute?
I think Sweden, I've been living in Sweden for many years, but I think Sweden to me has always been a very credible, neutral, wanted voice when it comes to international diplomacy. I think Sweden, if any country has understood peace, I think Sweden is one of the ones that's at the top of the list. So from that point of view, it's so great to be part of the Stockholm Peace Talks.
And briefly, what's your message tonight?
My message is really about using technology as a force for good. We're in an interconnected world, and we have so many opportunities to leverage that.